At the beginning, Ash was thinking that the magic of bonds and the holy soiree, or Kizuyoru for short, was a game in which the heroine, Fine Stout, was able to use holy magic, which allowed her, despite being a commoner, to enroll in the Royal Magic Academy, which only accepted royalty and aristocrats. There, Fine strengthened her relationships with capture targets and ended up marrying one of them after defeating the last boss. Ash remembered that it was an RPG-style otome game with a rags to riches theme, and that what made it famous was that it was a Natsuge. The reason for that was Fine's bad ending route. To get this route, Fine had to fail to reach a certain level of affection with any of the capture targets and start her second year with low favor with her friends. Due to her holy magic being hated as repugnant dark magic, and her being the target of vicious bullying, Fine was forced to drop out and disappeared into the night. Some people even started saying that it was a tearjerker all the way through, and Ash wondered if the devs had wanted to make an Utsuge in the first place. Ash thought that this depressing scenario was actually the real ending of the game. Ash thought of himself as Ash Laven and explained internally that he was a Japanese man who was reincarnated in the world of Kizuyoru. One day after he turned 10, Ash was looking through maps and reference books for his future dungeon delving. While looking at one of the books, Ash said to himself that he wanted to explore that dungeon sometime and that this was what monsters look like. While looking at the picture, he noted that the monster's weakness was water, but then added that in reality, it was easier to defeat it with physical attacks. Ash sat and wondered why he knew these things. At that moment, Ash remembered playing Kizuyoru in his past life. Drawing on his memories, Ash came to understand his situation. He discovered that he was reborn into the Laven family, the lowest-ranked aristocrats, baronets. He was the second-born son of the family, and his position was the lowest it could be among both the aristocracy and his family. Ash thought that he was not even a mob. In a way, he thought that he was fortunate, because since he was not an heir, he was embracing his freedom. That said, Ash noticed that there were some differences from the game. His character, Ash Laven, did not actually exist in the world of Kizuyoru. Moreover, there was one problem. For the life of him, he could not remember the most important thing: what the heroine looked like. Ash wondered what route the world was now following and, furthermore, whether Fine even existed. He had seen the capture targets at the academy, so he knew for sure that this was the world of Kizuyoru. Then it was raining, and Ash was walking with an umbrella while thinking that he guessed he would take a shortcut to the dorm. The rain started pouring down harder. Ash saw something and was shocked. He saw someone sitting on the ground and then saw that it was a girl. She had injuries, and her clothes were damaged. Ash thought that she was a girl from their school and wondered if she was being bullied. Ash told her that if she stayed there, she would catch a cold. Fine told Ash not to get involved with her and said that she liked sitting there. Ash sighed, took off his blazer, and gave it to Fine together with his umbrella, telling her to take it. Fine was shocked, and Ash ran away, saying that she did not need to return it and saying goodbye. The scene then shifted, and a house was shown. Ash was lying on his bed and thinking that he had done it. No matter how much he trained, his immune strength never increased. Ash thought that as long as he did not cause any trouble, he would still be able to graduate even if he took days off. Then someone knocked on his door, and Ash wondered who that was, thinking that the classes should still be on. Ash answered that and asked who it could be while opening the door. Ash saw Fine, and Fine greeted him with a good day, calling him Mr. Ash and saying that she had come to return his things. Ash was shocked and asked how she knew his name and even his dorm room. Fine explained that she had found his ID in his jacket and said that she had considered leaving it to a guard but then heard he was in his room, so she came there. Ash answered with a quick thanks and thought to himself that his cold had gotten worse. Ash told Fine that she should come back quickly and said he would feel bad if she were to catch his cold, but he fell while saying the word cold. Fine caught Ash. Ash apologized. Fine said that he had a fever, right? Ash insisted that this much was nothing. Fine said that it would not do and that they should get him back to bed, asking how that sounded. Ash agreed. They walked in, and Ash lay on his bed. Fine asked Ash if he had any cold medicine. Ash said no. Fine then, said she, I understand, and told Ash to close his eyes, apologizing in advance if this caused any discomfort. Ash thought to himself, wondering what this was, and felt that the pain in his throat and the fatigue were both easing away. Fine then touched his forehead and backed off, saying that it seemed his fever had gone down, so she was going to leave. Ash asked her to wait a minute and said he should repay her. Fine told him that his appreciation was enough and said that, like she had said yesterday, he just then. Fine's stomach growled. Fine sat down and, while blushing, apologized and asked if Ash had heard that. Ash said that he had been just about to eat something and asked if she wanted to eat together. Fine replied that a sick person should not be cooking in this situation, and that she would do it. Ash agreed. The scene then shifted, and Fine was shown with food. Fine said that the food was ready, and that she was not sure if it would taste good. Ash thanked her and looked at the food, thinking that it looked tasty. He took a bite and said that it was hella delicious. Ash then told Fine to eat too. Fine asked if she really could and then said that she would not hold back. Fine took a bite, and tears came to her eyes. Ash was shocked and asked what the matter was. Fine explained that she had not eaten warm food in a while, so she had reacted like that. Ash thought that this reminded him of how she had been sitting in the back alley like that, and wondered if something had happened to her. They ate and finished the food, and Ash thought that it was so quiet. He then saw that Fine had fallen asleep and thought that she was asleep. Ash smiled and thought that it seemed she had been able to relax. The scene then shifted to the next day. A boy was shown on the ground, and Ash with a sword. It was announced that the winner was Ash Laven. Ein commented that 3 wins in a row was something. Ash told Ein that he was in the best shape he had been in all these years. Ein said that even as Ash's friend, he had been shocked to see Ash, who had been in bed earlier, easily take down all opponents. Ash thought that it was true. He could barely stand on his own yesterday. Since Ash had woken up early, he had left a note and the key for the girl who was still sleeping before going ahead, and he wondered if she had been able to take it easy. The scene then shifted, and it was a cafeteria. Ein asked Ash what he was going to eat for lunch, and he said that he would have the pork cutlet curry. Ash answered that he would have ramen with onions, he guessed. Ash then said that, by the way, something big had happened yesterday. Ein asked what he meant. Ein then said that His Highness Alberich had announced his engagement. Ash reacted with a neigh of shock. Ash thought that Prince Alberich was this country's second prince, and one of the capture targets in Kizuyoro. Ash asked who the girl was. Ein said that, if he recalled correctly, her name was Elise Ringstadt. Ash thought to himself, who? And that there was not a character like that in the game, wondering what was going on. Ash asked if she was perhaps the daughter of a duke. Ein said that she was from a family of a baronet, just like them. Ash thought that the students at this academy were divided into different classes based on their noble ranking, and that their curriculums differed, so it was almost impossible for them to interact. Ash said that it was surprising that royalty could find common ground with her, and that he wanted to take a look. Ein said that he had heard that, as soon as Elise's engagement was announced, she was transferred to an upper rank class. Ash said that, but right now Ein pointed to a table and told Ash to look there. Elise was shown telling Alberich that she had packed him a box sandwich that day and asking if he would like to take a bite while holding sandwiches. Prince Alberich answered that of course he would and that he would eat anything she cooked for him, with a smile. Ein asked if that box was not from the school cafeteria. Ash said that it was and that it was the cheapest one there was. Then a plate full of food was shown, and Ash asked where they should sit. Ein said, "Let's see." Then Ash saw Fine and thought that she had been able to get to school without any problems. Ash asked Ein if he would mind sharing a table. Ein replied that he did not care. They walked toward Fine. Then someone said hey to Fine. It was a fat boy. The fat boy asked if it was really Fine, who despite being of vulgar birth, dared to attend this noble academy and called her a stupid wench. Ash thought that those guys were sleeve holders. Only students in the upper rank classes were allowed to wear decorations on their school uniform sleeves. Lower rank students called them sleeve holders, and those of the upper rank referred to those of the lower rank as sleeveless. The fat boy said that people like Fine should disappear quickly and called her a damn witch. Fine did not say anything. The fat boy shouted, asking if she was ignoring him, and took out his sword. While attacking, he said that he would show her that there was no place for her there. Ash blocked the attack with a knife. The fat boy shouted, "What?" and called Ash an arsehole, asking if Ash even understood what he was trying to do. Ash replied that he was defending a girl who was being bullied by a lowlife. The fat boy tried to attack again, and Ash dodged it and then dodged again. Ash kicked the sword far away, and it fell to the ground. Ash then punched the fat boy in the stomach, and the fat boy fell to the ground. Ash thought that he knew it and that he felt great now, hiding still in his thoughts. Students gathered near them and asked what was going on and whether it was a fight, a quarrel between a sleeveless and a sleeve holder. Ein told Ash that he had overdone it. Ash called out to Ein, apologized, and said he would leave the rest to Ein. Ein shouted in surprise. Ash carried Fine in his arms, and Fine reacted with a surprised sound. Ash ran away with her while carrying her. Fine shouted that he would have Ash explain all of this properly tomorrow. The scene then shifted, and houses were shown. Fine asked Ash if he could please put her down. Ash answered with an ah and apologized. Fine said that she was only asking now, but she wanted to know why Ash had gone to such lengths for her. Ash answered with a thoughtful sound and said that he just could not leave her alone. Fine, while blushing, said that was so. Ash said that in any case, they were standing out in their uniforms in the middle of the day and suggested going to his mansion since it was close by. Fine, agreed. Then the scene shifted, and Ash was shown opening a door while saying that they were there. Fine was shocked with a tense face and asked what could have happened for things to end up like that and what about the servants. Ash said that, in short, they did not have anyone there. Ash added that, well, this situation was purely because it was a pain in the ass to sell all the dungeon loot. Fine asked where the cleaning tools were kept. Ash replied with an A and asked why. Fine said that they needed to clean this house and that if Ash stayed there too long, he might get sick. Ash said that he usually lived in the dorm. Fine asked what he would do if he were unable to. Ash answered that, well, that was then he pointed at a door and said he thought the tools were stored in the back room. Fine said that they should now start cleaning. Ash asked if she was okay with just an apron. Fine said that there were no problems whatsoever, so they should finish this quickly. Ash said that it was pitiful, but it was his fault. They started to clean, and Ash thought that said, he wondered why the sleeve holders disliked her so much when he could see that she was one herself. Then Fine was shown on the stairs cleaning, and Ash saw her underwear and thought that he could see her panties clear as day, wondering with a tense face if he should point it out. Fine came down, and some books fell down. The stair behind her was about to fall on her from the back. Ash yelled, "Look out," with a tense face and saved her in time. Fine thanked him very much. Ash said that no, it was due to his inattentiveness and asked if she was okay. Fine replied to Ash, "You protected me, so let me ask you instead, are you all right?" Ash answered that he was okay and said he would see if anything else had fallen down. Fine said she will do the same with a tensed face. Fine then said, "Could you please let go of me?" Ash replied with an ah and apologized again. Fine said that no, she also had not been paying attention. Ash said that, well, he had to say it, though. Fine looked confused. Ash said that he had gotten an eyeful of her panties just a moment ago. Fine looked at her back, blushed, and shouted, asking why he had not said anything earlier. The scene then shifted, and the room was shown clean. Fine said that it looked different now and told Ash that from now on, he should clean the place frequently. Ash asked, by the way, what about dinner? Fine said that it was clear to her that he had deliberately changed the topic. Ash said nothing. Fine, then she asked if she could borrow the shower. Ash said yes, but added that it was a man's home and asked if she was not against that. Fine said that after being princess carried there and having her panties ogled, it was past the point of worrying. Ash reacted with an ah and apologized again. Fine smiled and, while blushing, told him to forgive her for teasing him. Ash said that he really did not mind it at all. Ash was shocked. Fine then, she said, all right, and that she was going to take a shower. Ash then thought that he remembered it. Fine was the heroine. Ash thought that if he thought about it, he believed the holy magic that only Fine could use was what had healed his cold in the blink of an eye. Ash wondered if Fine was treated like that by those upper-rank guys because of it. In other words, holy magic was already considered dark magic. That meant that the world Ash was in now was heading straight for the bad ending at the moment. The scene showed Ash thinking that the bad ending route in Kizuyoru differed from those in other otome games. Ash reflected that the credits did not begin rolling the moment the player reached this ending. Even after entering the bad ending route, the player had to endure and hate, suffer abuse, and endure vilification from every character until the end of the common route. Ash thought that if the player tried to delete their progress midway through the game, all unlocked content, acquired items, and status upgrades would be lost, and that was why the player had to keep playing whether they liked it or not. Both Fine and the player endured pain, and for this reason Kizuyoru was called an Atsuge. While leaning against the wall, Ash thought that they were right in the middle of that route now. Fine then opened the door and came in, and expressed her thanks to Ash for letting her use his shower. Ash told Fine not to worry about it and said that, anyway, he was presuming she was that Fine Stout. Fine was shocked and asked if Ash had been aware of who she was. Ash, in turn shocked, said that he had heard that a girl with amazing magical abilities had been enrolled in the upper-rank aristocracy class, despite being a commoner in his first year. Ash thought that he was not lying and that, still, those rumors had stopped almost immediately. If he thought about it, it was probably because they had entered the bad ending route. Fine grasped her own hand, and Ash apologized for being insensitive. Fine told Ash not to worry about it, and with a tense face, she said that she should be the one apologizing for hiding her name from him. Ash answered that he was actually fine with that. They both fell silent, and Ash thought that now he had done it, and that he had not meant for Fine to look so forlorn. Ash then said that, well, anyway, it was late, so Fine could stay at his house that night. Fine thanked him very much and said she would gladly take him up on his offer. The scene shifted to the next morning, and Ash was shown walking into class, greeting Fine in his mind and then noticing something. Ash saw a letter on his desk. It was from Fine. The letter said that she would like to properly express her sincere apology for hiding her identity, burdening Ash with her requests and causing him inconvenience, and that she would leave right away. Ash looked at it and asked what the heck it was, then slammed the letter on the bench and thought angrily that he should have predicted how Fine would act in her current state. Ash thought that he had already decided that continuing with this bad ending route that made Fine suffer again and again and caused her to lose her smile was something he did not want to see or do anymore, and that this was why he had to act. The scene shifted, and a crowd was shown. Ash wondered what was with all that crowd and walked toward them while thinking that he needed to find Fine as soon as possible. Ash then saw Prince Alberich declaring that it seemed commoners could not keep track of their own actions. Ash saw the group and thought that those were Fine and His Highness Alberich. Ash also recognized Eugene Graham, the son of the most outstanding and brave general of the crown and a peerless spearman, Recon Arbok, the son of the best royal court magician and an extraordinary genius magician himself, and David Venus, the son of the kingdom's Minister of Finance, who, despite being a student, was a charismatic manager who ran several businesses. Ash thought that they were the capture targets in Kizuyuru, the quartet of the most influential handsome guys, also known as the Four Knights. All that said, Ash wondered what that woman, Elise, was doing there. Ash saw Elise hugging Prince Alberich. Prince Alberich declared that Fine had not only threatened Elise but had even tried to use her wicked magic on all of them, and he said he would never approve of such a vile witch attending the academy. Fine, with a tense face, said that she had done no such thing. Eugene shouted again at Fine with anger, accusing the damn witch of shameful lies. Recon declared that no one but Fine would dare steal Elise's possessions. David exclaimed that people who held others in contempt for their own amusement were not needed in the academy. Elise then cried out to His Highness that it was not Fine's fault, and that it might very well be Elise herself who was the villainess. Alberich strongly denied that and said it was absolutely impossible, asking how a kind girl like Elise, who had healed all of them, could be a villainess. Students gathered around them, and Ash sighed as he walked between the crowd, thinking what a cheap, cliched farce it all was. Ash took out a wand and thought that it seemed he needed to act a bit more forcefully to put an end to it. Ash pointed the wand at the sky. Alberich continued, saying that if Fine stopped being stubborn and admitted that those things were her doing, then just then, a drop of water landed on his hand, and suddenly it started to rain. Students ran inside, shouting and asking where the sudden downpour had come from and complaining that they could not see anything. Someone called for Elise to take cover in the school building. Ash called out to Fine. Fine turned, and Ash grabbed Fine's hand. Fine recognized Ash and addressed him as Mr. Ash. They started to run, and Ash told Fine to come with him. It kept raining, and soon Ash and Fine were near a window. Ash said that it would not stop raining. Fine asked why Ash had saved her there. Ash answered that he had said it before and that he could not leave her alone. Furthermore, Ash told Fine that right then she was nearly heading toward her own destruction. Fine quietly answered that it was so. Ash then said that, for now, they needed to do something about their soaked clothes. Fine replied that there was no need to do anything. Fine stepped closer to Ash, touched his body, and said the word blessing. Ash thought that his wet clothes and hair became dry in an instant and was shocked. Ash asked if this was the magic he had heard rumors about. Fine said yes and explained that supposedly only she could use it, that it was one of the holy magics. Fine said that this magic was called blessing and that it cleansed the body of impurities. Ash asked Fine if this magic had anything to do with her being bullied and with that girl, Elise. Fine's face grew tense. Ash then took Fine's hand and told her that he knew it was a lot to ask, but for the sake of improving the current situation, he needed her to tell him what had happened to her so far. Fine said that she understood and that it was a long story, asking if Ash minded. Ash said that he did not. Fine then began to explain. Fine said that for as long as she could remember, she had possessed a wondrous power, the ability to heal any wound or sickness immediately. Mother Hilda, who had raised Fine with care, had told her that she did not need to know anything and that she must not use that power without Hilda's permission, asking if Fine understood. Fine had answered yes. Fine explained that thus she could only use her power when Mother Hilda gave permission and when a wound was so severe that it could not be healed with a potion. Those had been peaceful days living in an orphanage on the frontier. Fine continued that 3 years ago, when she had gone to pick up herbs in the mountains, she had encountered a badly wounded person there. Fine had said she would heal him right away and had done so. Fine said that that was when she broke Mother Hilda's teachings. Despite being surprised by Fine's power, the man had asked her many questions, saying that he wanted to repay her. The man had told her that all of it was thanks to her, and had asked her to tell him her name. Fine had answered that she had just done what anyone else would have done in her position. The man had replied that he was getting more and more interested in her. Fine said that, saying this, they had begun their descent of the mountain together. Fine then said that a year later, someone had come and proclaimed that, under a preferential measure, Miss Fine Stout was thereby allowed to enroll in the Royal Magic Academy. Fine said that, believing she would be able to save many people, she had decided to accept the enrollment, saying that she would absolutely love to be accepted as a student. However, Fine said, as it was an academy for nobles only, she, a commoner, was seen as an oddity. The only person who would talk to her was Elise. Elise had greeted her, confirmed that Fine was Fine Stott, introduced herself as Elise, and said they should get along from then on. Fine said that they quickly got to the point where she told Elise about the power she possessed. Fine had started to confess by saying that, to tell the truth, she had a certain power. Fine continued that soon after that, Elise had begun to take a strange interest in Fine's activities. Fine had said that they had a certain class that day, and Elise had told Fine to put something away and had handed Fine another book, saying that it would be much better. Fine said that by the time she realized it, she had already started living, according to Elise's decisions. Elise had suggested that they check out a shop downtown together, and Fine had agreed. Fine said that she could not have imagined what was happening while she was not looking. Some girls were shown saying that Fine was threatening them with her wicked magic. Another girl had replied that it was awful and said that was why she could not stand commoners. Fine said that Elise had not just started throwing around imaginary rumors about her, she had also begun using an excessive amount of potions to heal the wounds and injuries of Prince Alberich and his friends that Fine could have easily fixed. By the time Fine had grasped the situation she was in, it was too late. Fine said that the fatal blow had come during outdoor combat practice when she cast defensive protection on people who were not accustomed to fighting monsters. Some students had shouted at her, asking what she had done to them and calling her a bitch. They had repeated the name of the spell, defensive protection, and accused her of trying to kill them all with it, calling it sickening and telling her never to use that disgusting power in front of them again. Fine said that sometime after that, some students had confronted her again, saying that they knew it was Fine, calling her a damn witch, and declaring that they could not allow those endless acts of barbarity to continue anymore. They had told Fine that they would definitely have her expelled from the academy. Fine had cried out in shock and had tried to protest that she really had not done anything like that. The students had replied that if she insisted on pretending, they would have no choice but to destroy the orphanage where she, a wicked villainess, had grown up. They had then walked away while Fine had tried to beg them to listen, pleading with them to hear what she had to say. Fine said that her desperate pleas had fallen on deaf ears and that she had been ordered to leave the academy immediately. When she had come to her senses, she had found herself sitting in a back alley, crying. And yet, Fine said, it had been Ash who had called out to her there, telling her that if she stayed there, she would catch a cold. Fine told Ash that he had been the one who had called out to her there. The backstory ended. Ash responded that so that was what had happened and thanked Fine for telling him. Ash thought that everything had unfolded just as it did in the game. Ash thought that Mother Hilda had been trying to avert the fate of a saint who was destined to fight the demon lord, a fate placed on Fine's shoulders. The person Fine had saved in the mountains should, according to Ash, be Crown Prince Elsa's. Everything up until enrollment at the academy had followed the main plot of Kizuyuru. Ash thought that this meant the problem was Elise. Kizuyuru began after Fine had healed and made the capture targets interested in her. Ash assumed that Elise had controlled and taken away Fine's actions and position by imitating holy magic with potions. Ash thought that that was impossible unless someone was fully informed about Kizuyuru and concluded that it was quite likely Elise was a reincarnator. Fine then, she said, somewhat hesitantly, that she thanked Ash very much for saving her time and time again. Fine turned away and said that she did not want to cause Ash any more problems, so she would be on her way. Ash asked Fine if she was content to remain defeated by Elise and her gang. Fine clenched her fist. Ash asked if Fine really wanted to run away pathetically with her tail between her legs. Fine turned back, exclaiming that there was no way she wanted to do that, but added that still she did not have the means to prove her innocence or protect the orphanage. Ash told Fine that she still had some fight left in her. Fine reacted with surprise and asked what he meant. Ash said that in that case she should rest assured, because he would help her triumph over them all. Fine was shocked.
By the way, if you enjoyed the video, maybe consider liking and subscribing, pretty please?